Hi, I'm Sandy Allnock, and today I want to review the Chameleon Color Tone Pens that I saw at CHA January 2014. A lot of you asked me to go see them when you heard about them, and then a lot of you also asked what I thought of them when I got home. And rather than write it in emails over and over and over again, I thought I would just put it here on YouTube. So I'm going to give you my opinion. This is my opinion only. You may know that I am a big fan of Copic markers and I'm a Copic expert. I have taught for Copic in the past and I probably will again at some point, but I'm not paid by them. I'm not an employee. I'm not doing this on their behalf or anything. Just me, just telling you what I think of this product. I also want to let you know that this is all based on a very short experience with the markers. I went to their booth, I listened to their pitch, I picked up one of the markers and they tried to take it away from me and I told them I couldn't assess it if I couldn't hold it. So I got to color a whole grape, a single grape, purple. And yeah, that was the experience I'm basing this on. But I think I know enough to at least give you some questions to ask about the product as you're considering your purchase. First, let me tell you what I love about it. One is that they are trying something innovative. I love anybody who tries something new, and I think that's a great thing. Keep on keeping on with trying new things. They're promoting these markers as something that has multiple colors in one marker. And it's an interesting idea. I remember those pens when I was a little girl. They were big pens and they had a little clicker on the end and you could click it so you could have a red pen or a green pen or a blue pen, and I loved that. So this idea just really intrigued me. The other thing I really love about them is that they have both a brush nib and on the other end they have the little writing nib. I forget what it's called, the stub, whatever it is. Has that nib, not the chisel point. I don't like the chisel point, I don't use it, so I would use those two nibs more. Their brush nib seems to be a little smaller than the Copic one, but the body of the marker seems to be a little bit bigger. But since I only got to hold it for a second, I didn't really think to compare all those details in my mind. I just know what I remember it feeling like. Let's see, so those are the things I really love about them, that I thought that was really cool. What I didn't love so much is kind of in how it works. Okay, the marker itself has a body like any other alcohol marker, and the base color sits inside the base of the marker, just like Copic. It's refillable, that's fine. The nibs are replaceable on both ends, that's fine. To lighten the color, because the ink inside is full strength color, to lighten it and get those lighter shades, you turn the pen right side up and you take the cap off, you hold it upright, and then you take this thing, it's, what are they calling it? A chamber filled with toning medium. So it's a chamber, yes, you put the chamber on top and you stick the marker in and you let gravity pull the toning medium down into the marker. I'm picturing it probably being blending solution, and toning medium is their name for it. Whatever it is, it pulls this fluid down from this cap into the marker itself, into the nib. And you sit and wait for it. Now you can wait anywhere from 10 seconds if you want just a slightly lighter shade to 40 seconds or a minute if you want it to be really pale. Now I would like to, just for fun, wait for 40 seconds to see what 40 seconds feels like. Are you ready? Let's go. Almost there. Seconds. I cannot picture myself waiting 40 seconds every time I want to get a light colored marker. I asked them about that and their answer to it was, well, that's how long it takes you to uncap and recap multiple colors of marker. Well, I can hold 3 markers in my hand uncapped and just change pens much faster than I can this. So speed is not something that this is going to help with in any way, shape, or form. You also have to hold the marker upright. You can't have it laying down because gravity is what pulls that medium into the marker. So you have to hold it that whole time. I don't know what happens, like if you put 3 markers in your hand and you start infusing all 3 of them at the same time so you can take turns using them. If you let one sit there for 2 minutes while you're coloring with another one, are you going to ruin that? They didn't really answer that question for me, whether, you know, filling that whole chamber with marker is good, or with the toning medium is going to wreck it. I don't know. I also don't know how having that much of the toner medium going through that cap or through that nib over and over and over and over again is going to wear on the nib. The nibs are replaceable, but you may go through a number of nibs, I don't know. And one other question is, how much of that toner medium are you going to need? A ton, probably, because you're going to use it every time you use these markers unless you're always going to use them full strength. So that could be an expense that I don't have any idea how much it's going to cost. Another thing is you can't dial in that medium tone color. If you say you want to color a dress on a little girl and you want the base color of it to be a medium purple, and you infuse your marker and you figure out at about 20 seconds worth of infusing works out to be the right tone that you want for the overall tone, and then you'll add your shading, you can't actually do that. You can do that first coloring of that, but it's going to immediately start getting darker. At the end of this video, I'm going to link you to the Craft Test Dummies video that they shot of the company pitching their own markers, and you'll see how fast it goes from really light all the way to dark in just a very short distance, both physically and time-wise. Because as soon as that toner medium wears off as you're coloring, it's going to get darker and darker. So you're going to have trouble if you're going to try to color any objects that are supposed to be a light color, because you're going to have to keep infusing that marker, and I don't know how you infuse it and always guarantee it's going to be in the same spot. So to say that this marker has a bunch of colors within it, it kind of has a range, but it's all a range of one kind of general color, and all of your images are going to start looking the same. Which brings me to another thing I didn't like about them. They only have 20 colors, which, okay, they're starting out with 20. They may add more. That's totally fine. But the colors they picked feel like they've been picked by Crayola, like old school, really primary colors. And it's okay if that's all you want to color with, but they are supposed to be like Copics in that they're alcohol inks and they will blend. But I think it's going to be hard to get any subtle colors. You're just going to end up with really strong red, strong blue, strong purple, strong yellow, strong orange, and not really subtle colors. So they do say in their pitch, when I talk to them, that this is not meant to replace Copics, that they're not trying to rival it, they're just trying to have a supplementary product, and okay, maybe that's cool, I don't know. Oh, one other thing that I've seen people posting, which I want to also let you know could be an issue, and I don't know this, I'm just going to raise the question so you can ask the question yourself. People have said, well, this would be great to take for travel because then you can basically take 20 markers with you instead of taking your whole collection of Copics if you're going on a trip or something and you want to take your markers. Okay, you're going to take markers that are way bigger because the marker itself and the 2 nibs are about the size, I think, the length of a Copic, but then you add that big honkin' infuser thing on the end and you've got a really big marker, really, really, really big. And in addition to that, that infuser on the end, that I don't know, I keep calling it that, the chamber on the end has liquid medium in it. It's liquid toner medium. I don't know what TSA is going to do with that. Some TSA agents already have problems with alcohol markers anyway. I've heard of people having their Copics confiscated because they have alcohol in them and they smell them and get upset. I've never had that issue. I've carried my Copics in my carry-on a number of times and been fine. But if this thing has actual liquid in the cap, is that going to be an issue for TSA? I'm not really sure. So if you're thinking about traveling by plane or in anything where you're going to have to go through TSA, you just might want to take that into consideration. So that's my 2 cents worth. I am sorry that I have to give it a thumbs down, for me at least. If you're somebody who's never used alcohol ink markers and you want to try it, this could be a good product to start with. I think you'll probably pretty quickly want to move on to Copics so you can have more subtle color ranges and better colors than these 20. But if you think that this would be as far as you'd ever want to go, then it could be a good purchase. I think it's $89 for a set of 20 markers, and that could be fine. There's, you know, like I said, refillable inks, there's refillable or replaceable nibs, all that kind of stuff. So that could be a good product for you. Anybody who really loves their Copics though, I don't think you're going to be particularly impressed. It's a really intriguing concept, and I'm really hoping that they refine it and that somehow it becomes something that I would use, because I kind of like the idea. Those old school big pens would be really fun to have as a grown-up. All right, that's about all I have to say about that. I'm going to link to the Craft Test Dummies video over here. And I would like to invite you to come back next Wednesday, because I'm going to have a Copic video coloring my brand new stamps at Whimsy, because they're coming out next week, and I think Wednesday is the day. So I'm going to do my first coloring video on Wednesday, so instead of Friday, I'll see you on Wednesday. Have a really great weekend, and I'll talk to you later. Bye guys!